Welcome back, artists. Here we are looking at some clay. So hopefully what's happened is you've been able to come to school, and I should have provided you with a slab of clay in a plastic bag, and we want to keep it a slab, please. A slab is an even thickness of clay, so this was cut very even, and most of you have seen my slab cutter at school, so you know what that looks like. So I've cut it very even for you. The next step I want you to do is take a piece of paper, and you can kind of measure out. I always do a 7 by 7 inch piece of paper at school, but you can kind of measure out, you know, like put your clay on a piece of paper and measure it out a little bit bigger. I want this clay to be as big as possible to fit inside of our bowl, because we're about to do a drape mold. So the idea is, inside of this piece of paper, I want you to get your leaf all the way to the edges of that about 7 by 7 square. And then what's going to happen is we're going to take this slab and you're going to roll it out on a piece of paper at your home. Please make sure it's on a piece of paper. Right now mine is on a board. You could also do it on a board. But you need to make sure that it's on a board or a piece of paper so it actually doesn't stick. We don't want to have sticking happening. The nice thing about working on a board is that if you work on paper, sometimes the paper sticks to the back of your clay, which actually doesn't, it's no big deal, but it's distracting to students, so it'll just burn off in the kiln, but it's distracting to students, so on a board is easier. Paper's fine though. The clay should be good enough for that. So then what you're going to do is put your leaf on top of your piece of paper any way it fits. Remember, you can do, or excuse me, put your paper on top of your leaf. Any way you can, doesn't matter, just get it on there as best as you possibly can. I always feel my edges. It goes. Then my clay goes over here. I can move it over if I want to. There we go. I guess it all fits. If for some reason there's a part of your leaf that doesn't fit, like it goes over the edge, you can just change the shape of your leaf or reposition it. Just think outside of the box that way, okay? I'm going to take a regular pencil and then I'm going to go through here and just draw over my drawing. And for friends, you can make any leaf design you want. Mrs. Samala did a very complicated maple leaf to show you some things. Any small areas like this, this is as narrow as a stem should be. Don't go any narrower than that, because any small areas might have a tendency to break, and I don't want that to happen. So try to keep your areas bigger, you know, your shapes bigger. And right now my paper is ripping, and I don't care. I'm going to throw this piece of paper in the garbage in a moment. So just do the best job that you can tracing. All I'm trying to do is push down my lines into the clay. I'm transferring my idea. Otherwise, drawing in clay can actually be kind of hard, and then you're erasing and your slab gets mixed up. So just having an idea planned out that's nice and big, going all the way to the edges, using up as much of your clay piece as possible is totally what we're looking for. And then checking to see, oh, did it transfer? It sure did. I can see those lines very clearly. So now if I know it's all transferred, I can take it off. The next step is going to be taking like a butter knife at your house. This is called a fettling knife, and a fettling knife is a little bit thinner than a butter knife, but it's not sharp. But it's great to actually work with to cut. So my knife goes all the way down, touching whatever my clay is on. And then I'm going to drag. And I'm going to drag. So instead of going in here and turning my knife and making that corner be icky, I went back in, hit the bottom, go off. I come back in, go around, come out, go back in. I'm trying to hit it so you can hear it a little bit. You can come out, go in. You can turn it if you want to, but turning is a lot harder for my old hands, so I just like to go in and out. And you're going to end up with all these little chunks of clay, and that's fine. You can actually give these back to me, or if you want to use them and make something else, you could. I can't say that I could actually fire them, but you could try to make something if you wanted to out of it. So I'm taking my fettling knife and cutting off all these extra pieces. It's going to take some time and I'm going quickly for the demonstration. Please don't go this quickly. All I'm doing is carefully cutting this out. Another thing to keep in mind is, because I'm not sawing the clay, like doing this kind of thing, students say, oh, I'm working so hard, I'm sawing the clay. When you saw the clay, ugh, you get all these icky, rough edges. No way, man. If I come in here and I go straight down and go out, even if I curve it, I get a nice, clean cut. I'll show you. Look at that beautiful, nice, clean cut. It's nice and clean here. I have to do less smoothing. That's smart art. We want to do some smart art, not saw and work hard. The other thing is that you want your knife to be like this, not at an angle. If I cut my clay at an angle like this, it's actually harder to cut with, and then I have this really thin edge that's just going to continue to crack off. But if I go straight up and down like that, I have a really nice edge to work with. So please keep that in mind as you're cutting out your clay. Thank you. After you get everything cut out, then the next step is just to get this clay somewhere. Like I said, you can just actually just give it back to me, and I can reuse it for a different class, or if you want to sculpt something out of it. Like I said, I probably can't fire it, but you could have it at your house, I guess. That's up for you to decide. The next step is going to be coming here, and I'm just kind of slightly rounding out these edges. I realize that the clay right now it's soft, right? But after I fire it, it's going to get hard, and anything that's got a really sharp edge to it right now is going to be sharp when it comes out of the kiln. So the idea is to just smooth out these edges just a little bit, making sure they're straight up and down, making sure I'm liking everything I'm seeing. There's kind of a lump here. I want to get rid of that lump, you know, get it all smooth the way that you want to. You're the artist in charge, so make things the way that you want to be. Look at the size of my finger, look at the size of the stem. I'm not trying to make a skinny stem. It's probably not going to last. It will break off, so that's just the limit of clay. Every material that we use has awesome possibilities, and it has limits. And clay, you don't want to go ever to that thin. Now, I should have also provided you with some styrofoam bowls. 2 of them is good for a nice, easy way to work with this. And what you're going to do is probably that and think, uh-oh, this is not going to be a good bowl. The bottom of it, I mean, that's not working out, right? It's when I take it out of here, it's going to be all rolly and tippy. So what you're going to do, and this is the hard part, you're going to push down with this hand and push straight down with this hand, and your clay is going to stick to the side, and you have to boss it around. You have to push down, and the clay will stretch a little bit. Push down, the clay will stretch. That's exactly what you want it to do. Perfect. And now it's a mess. So let's boss it around. The clay is thick enough where I can gently fold it out right now, because you can boss that clay around. I see wrinkles, don't worry. Just like Mrs. Samala's face, I see wrinkles, don't worry. We're going to get those wrinkles out. Then the bottom of this right now, I can tell there's air in between the clay and the styrofoam bowl in here. That's not good. That, even when there's air, it means we've got a curve. So what you need to do is, this is a drape mold. We're going to form the clay to go down to the bottom. So I'm going to push gently until I can feel the styrofoam bowl. And I'm pretty brave because I've done this a lot, so please be brave about your pushing. You don't want to squish it, but when you will feel when that clay is actually touching the styrofoam bowl. That looks a lot different than it just did. It's forming down to the bottom. Before it was just like a cup. Now you can actually see. So take a look at what that looks like. Okay, I don't want my lumps, so I'm going to smooth it out. Everything's pushed down. There's no more air. It's time for me to do the smoothing, so I go lump free. I go wrinkle free. Let's smooth out some of these wrinkles here. Fantastic. Ooh, I wish I could do that to my face, but not happening. So here we go. Smooth, smooth, smooth. And keep on smoothing. I'm just being silly. And make sure your edges look good, so I just go like this. Here's danger. No pinching. We've talked about this before. Pinching looks like this. It's a 2-finger action. Don't pinch. Smoothing is a 1-finger action. It's just like this. Smooth, smooth, smooth. No pinching. If you pinch, all of these beautiful corners are actually going to get so thin that they're going to crack off again. So we don't want that to happen. We're only doing the smoothing method. And you're done. It's gorgeous. You can leave it like this, but what I like to do is very lightly take a pencil, and I love to draw in here some veins. It's up for you to decide whether you actually want to draw those veins or not. There's danger here as well. We're doing all this dangerous stuff today. The danger is going deep. I am just gently pressing into the very surface of the clay. If you take your knife, don't do it. Don't try to make a light line. The knife's cut so much deeper than we can feel. A pencil is great for this, and you're done. And you have a leaf bowl that has a cool texture on the inside of it for you to decorate later on. Truly, trust me on this. Don't use the knife. Use a beautiful pencil. It makes a lot lighter, nicer lines, lighter lines, and then they're not very deep. When you're done with this, what I need for you to do is make sure that your name is on it. So I would just take a piece of paper like this, rip it off. I'd write my name on there, and then all you have to do is put your name in the bowl, and after your name goes in the bowl, you can give it back to me, and it'll dry now or in my classroom. I'll fire it and get it back to you. Thanks a lot for watching, friends. We'll hopefully see you soon. Bye.